What's up guys, Scott from Overland. So today I want to do a quick walk around the van. Last video I did, we talked about going to get it. It was just north of Chicago and went up there and picked it up a couple weeks ago. Got it home, already had stuff on order and immediately went to work on it. So since we've got it, well, backing up from that, literally 1 hour after leaving the dealership, a rock came up and cracked the windshield. So it started off like this long and kept getting bigger. So we got a new windshield getting replaced here hopefully next week. So anyway, let me just update you what we've done so far. So as soon as we got it home, Beck and I knew the first thing we needed to do was put a floor in this thing. So we laid out all the furring strips on the floor and then kill matted everything on the floor. And then we started insulating with insulate, put that stuff down, and then laid half-inch birch on top of that. Got that done pretty quick, quick enough I guess. And then closed off a little part on the step, which I'm going to show you all this stuff as I'm talking about it, obviously. And then the next big thing was I needed to get the hole cut in the ceiling for the max air fan. So bit nerve-wracking, brand new van, drilling holes and cutting it. It's a 14 by 14 inch hole, so it was pretty bad. So went down to my buddy's house. Luckily he had a big enough garage where I could do it in there. He also had a scissor lift, so I didn't have to climb up a ladder. I'm spoiled, I know. And I was able to just ride that thing up, then climb over onto the van. Couple small issues, no big deal, got through it. Mounted the fan on top. I made a bracket for it, well, a gasket for it on the bottom of wood, so that way when you drill through the roof, it has something to grab onto. So that's all in. There's pictures there and all that stuff. A couple days after that, we were heading to Michigan for a few days vacation to try out the van. Flies, I swear. So I wanted to get some kind of electrical in here to run that fan. So I put a lithium iron phosphate battery in here that I had for another solar project that I got to work on. It's 260 amp hour, and then I just put a fuse block on top of it to run it into that, then out to everything that I wanted to wire. Well, the only thing I wanted to wire was that fan, so we got a 260 amp hour battery running that max air fan. Needless to say, it held up just fine. We did just keep topping it off when we had a chance, but probably didn't need to. So a buddy of mine, Randy, was over and he's got a van. He said in his Transit it has a plug underneath. So I got under there and found there's a plug under there, so we routed a wire out that plug so I could plug it into shore power, and now we could have power inside the van. So, but that's not the permanent solution, that's just for now. Again, I'm going to be showing you all this stuff as we go. Beck kill matted some of the ceiling and the fender wells, of course, the wheel wells. And then we brought our Goal Zero and our Dometic fridge from the Jeep world over into here. Now, I've always done a certain way to charge the Goal Zero, and when I used to make videos about this, there was a lot of people like, why would you do that? Well, it works, and this is what I'm talking about. So with the Goal Zero, if you buy a DC charger to charge the Goal Zero and plug it into the cigarette lighter or some kind of aux thing on your vehicle, it takes forever. It takes forever to charge the Goal Zero. It's almost not worth it. So what I started doing in England was buying a small inverter. There I had a 300 watt inverter. It plugs into the cigarette lighter. It's got a 110 plug on the back. Over there was 220, obviously, it doesn't matter. But here I bought a 400 watt one, plugged it in to the cigarette lighter style plug under the driver's seat, and then ran the Goal Zero charger from it. So it charges the Goal Zero just as fast as if you're charging it inside the garage. Then I plug the Dometic into the Goal Zero. So then people say, well, why don't you just plug it into the van and skip the Goal Zero? Well, the Goal Zero is always on. So if you shut the vehicle off and it's not on a plug that stays on constantly, the fridge is going to shut off until you come back and start it up. If you do plug it into a battery or a plug that's on constantly, then obviously you got the risk of running down your starting battery and stranding yourself. So I use the Goal Zero, charging it with an inverter, cheap Walmart inverter, 40 bucks I think it was, and it charges it so much faster. So that's where we ran it. The only issue I've had with that Dometic fridge, I got the CFX 45 liter, I think it is the cigarette style plug, the cigarette lighter style plug that goes in there. It gets loose and then it just shuts the fridge off, where the fridge will say it doesn't have enough power and it'll shut off. That's obviously bad if you're depending on stuff you got in there, like raw meat, or you know, for breakfast, or you've got milk and stuff like that. Then obviously you don't want that fridge kicking on and off. So I had an issue a couple times, so we paid attention to it while we were out there. And then as soon as I got home, one of the first things I did was cut the cigarette lighter plug style off of it and put an Anderson plug on it that fits into the Goal Zero. No issues since, so good deal. But we also got the White Top Adventure headliner shelf. So again, we'll show you pictures of that. It's a shelf that goes above the driver's seat and the passenger seat, so you can store stuff up there. I kept my clothes up there. Beck kept some of her stuff up there. And it also has a 180 rail, so it has a curtain that closes off the whole cab up front. And then it has, I also bought the draw curtains for the back. So for the back of that shelf. So basically what Beck would do is when we went to the beach or something in Michigan, she would draw the 180 degree curtain up front, and then she would draw that one, and she was able to stand between the seats and change. So that worked out great. It's also just a little extra if you want to stealth camp or something, then you can leave the 180 out so it doesn't look like you're blocking the windows, so it looks like you're just parked there. Then you can pull the back curtain and then it just looks like a cargo van, so with a fan on top. I know, and it's about to get a lot crazier too. So we also bought the blackout window parts for the back. I can't remember what they're called. Van Essentials is who makes them, and they basically, with ours, we have a fully plastic shroud around the back doors, so we had to put magnetic stickers in there, and then it all stuck to that. So there, obviously, pictures worked out great. I ended up just leaving them in. I don't mind them being in there when I'm driving. I use the side mirrors more than anything, and this thing's got great cameras on it and all that stuff, so I'm not worried about that. Anything else to mention? Oh, Beck is short, as I've mentioned before. So she bought a little riser that goes on the floorboard of the passenger seat. It's about, I don't know, 4 to 5, maybe 6 inches tall, and it's just right for her to get her feet where she's not dangling off the seat. So it works out great, and it ends up being a little bit of storage because it has a door in there as well. Yeah, and then I put a off-roam phone mount in, show you that. I'm not sure if that's going to be the be-all end-all or if I'm going to be swapping it out as well. But going forward, we've already got projects on the run. We've already got our Owl Trail floorboards, or not floorboards, but running boards and steps on the side. So we're just waiting for the brackets to get here to mount them. They got separated somehow in 2 different packages. So as soon as they get in, we'll have the side rails, floorboards, whatever you want to call them. We'll have that mounted up. Trail steps is what they call them. I just dropped off, if you saw on Instagram and Facebook, I just dropped off the flare side flares that's going to go on the sides of the van. So we basically cut a big hole in the side of each side of the van, and then those flares go on the outside and give you more room, because me and Beck are going to be sleeping sideways in the van, not front to back, side to side, so that way you don't use as much room. I'm 6 foot tall, so if I slept that way, then obviously I got to take up around 6 foot of space. But since we're sleeping this way, it's only going to be like 5 foot. 5 foot that way, and then 6 across, because we now will have those cutouts in the walls. So again, the pictures are making better sense of it than I do. We also have the flare space bed made by Flatline Vans coming, that goes across there. It's made for that, and the mattress is on the way that's going to fit in there perfectly. It's made for that bed. What else we got? Oh, the electric system. So thanks to Explorus.life, I figured out their Sprinter system is exactly what I want. So I'm building the same system they built, except for I cut my batteries down to 400 amp hours and they had 6. So I'm giving myself room to get 2 more batteries and have 600 amp hours as well. But right now I will be running 4 100 amp hour Battleborn batteries with the Victron inverter, Lynx distributor, MPPT to run the solar, and then the DC to DC charger from Victron. All the electronics are Victron to charge while you're driving. So it'll be charging from while you're driving, or the solar panels on top of the roof, or it will also charge from shore power. If you're stationary, there'll be a plug on the side, not this one like I said. Another place is going to be a new plug that plugs into camp style plug-ins. So most of that's here. I'm waiting on a couple things, but most of it's already here, so good deal on that. What else? Air conditioner. We've been fighting back and forth, not really fighting, but trying to decide. We've been doing a lot of research trying to figure out which AC we want. Right now we're leaning towards the Velvet because it's 12 volt and we want to try to keep the system 12 volt. It seems like everybody's happy with it, especially if you put it above the bed, which is exactly where ours will be, right above the bed, so we're going to be happy with that. Little thing, we ran into some people up in Michigan that was actually from Fishers, Indiana, and they had a really sweet Tiffin Sprinter conversion, and they had this little trail, this little catch in the rail on the sliding door. It just, you can put it wherever you want, and once you put it there, it's there. But then it'll catch, so that way you can open a door that's like this far, and it won't like automatically slide all the way open if it's on a hill. Because right now where it's parked downhill. If I open that door and let go of it, it's just going to open all the way. I don't always want that. So anyway, I think I've rambled enough. We love the van, that's the short answer, and we got a lot to do, but we've done a lot in a short period of time just to get out there, and it was great for it. We loved it. It was great. Well, this is the way we want to travel, so here we go, you know, looking forward to it. I appreciate y'all stopping by this long. I know it's been long-winded and a lot of pictures and stuff. There will be more than just a talking head videos coming soon. We'll actually be walking around and doing stuff to the van while we film it. So it will be more action-packed, I promise. But right now it's too hot and I haven't been able to get out here, and I've got a lot of other stuff going on, so it's coming. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much for stopping by, checking out the Instagram and the Facebook page, and subscribing. If you want to see more of this, please subscribe to Axe Overland. Click that like bell or click the bell and the like and all that stuff, and just show some love and say hey. You know, it's just a lot of you guys I've traveled with, I've done different things with overseas and here and all over the place, so it'd be good to hear from you. But anyway, I'm off. I appreciate you guys. Beck and I appreciate you. I gotta start including her, even though she may never be on a video, but I gotta start including her because she's working a lot behind the scenes to make this happen. So it's credit where credit's due. She's the heat. I almost said it, but yeah, she's awesome. Anyway, appreciate y'all stopping by. And we'll see you out there later.